What's up, traders? This is Marco. It's Friday. I have another bar by bar for you. We have Friday the 17th of March, and I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I got a little cold. I went for some skiing holiday with my wife and my daughter, and I came back, and literally my wife and me, we got both sick. So I was not trading today, but I was checking the chart and I was analyzing the chart, and I have another bar for you. So I'm coming to the PC always around 7:30 in the morning, and you can see prices were breaking this channel and pushing strongly lower here. And from there we don't see a pullback to the EMA yet, so this is very strong bearish. And yeah, we see a potential overshoot here and here, so maybe the channel is a bit bigger like so, but we had already a break and a couple legs to a new low. That could be 2 legs here, didn't even make it to the second leg, and from there we made a new low and pushing higher back to the EMA now. So most times you will see markets are moving in two. So we have, like, for example, one measured leg here. There could be a pullback and then a second leg up. We're pushing above the EMA now. That's strong bearish. If you compare it, for example, we had an order of bearish bars here all the time, and now suddenly we get strong bull bars here pushing above the EMA. That's a sign that momentum has changed. Buyers are coming in and yeah, looking for nice long opportunities. So we have the first push up here, pullback, second push up. And this is interesting because it's a failure. If you take this low here, first entry short, second entry short, failure. And from the context, we have the break of this downtrend channel here, a couple legs to a new low, even a tiny overshoot, and after overshoot we see breaks of the structure. So if you consider this trade here, and I was already removing it, but there is potentially some space for the second leg up here. So if you are an aggressive trader, you can consider this long here as a on a failure. That's a failed second entry short. So it's like a reversal pattern after a structure has played out, and we're going higher. We're hitting the measured move here and going sideways a bit, but we can see there's some very strong buying power coming into here. So right now you can see the order of bull bars following to each other, that something has changed. We're not going below the EMA anymore, we're going above the EMA. So we're looking for longs right now, and we can say that this structure here, this pink channel, could be played out by now already. So we have a spike up here, and that looks like maybe a spike in channel, something like this. Can draw it like this for now. No, that's better here, like this. Let me correct this, like this. I like it more. Prices spiking up here and forming a flatter channel. And now we have a pullback back to the EMA, back to the key entry point, but this is only a first entry here. And yeah, first entry, hard to take. We would like to wait for a 2-leg pullback. So this is only the first leg. So if we see a correction, another pullback to the EMA, then that would be a second entry long. But right now this is only the first entry, so I cannot take this. And the first target would be here, because right now here are a lot of short sellers putting their stops, because all the shorts that went into this area here going lower, putting their stop losses above here. So we're waiting and see if prices can approach this level here. But right now longs and the bulls are coming back into the market and make some strong buying here. So right now there's nothing to consider. But we can see that there is some rejection here that pretty much came from this break during the overnight session, and we're pulling back to the EMA. This channel here is confirmed. We have a couple of touches, but right now there is no entry. It's very congestive here. Let me zoom in a bit and you can see it better. And this is a very nice strong bar, but as I said, it's looking a bit congestive. There's not really a setup. It's the same like here, a first entry, and with first entries we cannot enter, or if you enter then it's very risky. So I have to skip this, breaking the structure for the first time and going lower from here, going strongly lower. So maybe it's time to draw another channel. Hard to say how it can look, maybe like this. With a potential break, retest of the lows, and we're going higher from here. We still have a potential retest of this green uptrend here. This is not played out yet. So still the bias is more bullish. Right now, shorts are coming in and trying to sell this. But as long as this structure here is not played out, I'm not so interested in taking shorts right now. So I'm waiting with any more shorts. And this is interesting because it's a strong push higher above the EMA, but it's only a higher low and it's right into the highs here. So if you are very aggressive, maybe you can consider this setup here. But yeah, as I said, like it's only a higher low. I would like to see a failure or something like this. So if you are very aggressive, you can consider this. We will skip this for now. And prices are forming now the failure, but by doing this, it looks also very congestive. You can see this 3 or more bars are stacked up here. So right now I'm very careful in taking like a long here, even though it's a failure, and most failure have the like chance that prices are pushing above, taking all the stops that are above here and pushing much higher. So this trade here has a much higher probability than only this higher low. But as I said, it's looking pretty congestive. And if you want to take a short setup, then you would like to see no congestion around the area. It would have worked. We are pushing strongly higher, and you can see all the stops here from the shorts that we're placing here, here, here. They were all taking out here, and prices are pushing so much higher because all the stops are being stopped. So prices pushing higher here, and we have a retest of the highs, and this structure here played out now. So yeah, the more I look at it, I like this setup. So maybe if you are aggressive, you can consider this, because the context was this uptrend. We had the first break, then we have a push above the EMA, first support, second support. But yeah, I had a problem with this congestion area. So if you are aggressive, maybe you can consider this trade here. And this is the same as the first failed second entry short, and you were seeing my chart was jumping because I was putting this this text mark here. This happens sometimes. Prices pushed higher, made a new high, and now we're going lower, drawing the shorter term channel here. First break of this shorter term channel, potential retest of the lows, and you can see we're finding some support here. But nothing to consider. I'm extending the channel because we are pushing lower again. First break here, now retest of the lows. This bar here looks very bullish. It has 14 ticks, and yeah, sellers are trying to push this price lower here, And yeah, now we have the break, retest of the lows. Now there's a pullback, and yeah, nothing to consider so far. Finding some support here of this stronger area, pushing lower again. This is interesting. Some like this. Maybe it's a bigger structure, so we see another push lower. But yeah, this looks congestive. You can see here, I'm drawing this mini range. We could go short here, right into the support. And you were seeing that prices are bouncing back off this level here before, so cannot take this. And this is really wild, and that looks like a news. We had a news event at 9. This is exactly now. You can see this huge wicks here going higher, and yeah, this is very strong bullish momentum coming in. Maybe we can draw this shorter term channel higher here and find some potential trade. Finding some support at this old level that I drew. It's funny, you have to observe this. These are important levels where like buyers and sellers putting their orders, and there's like many times you can see reactions of those levels. And maybe there is some, I don't know, maybe there's some range even. If I remove this here and add it like this, yeah, could be a bigger range. Let's see if this plays out. We have a tiny break here, new high, a failed breakout out of the range, but I would like to see more confirmations of the range resistance here of this line, because this is not enough. It's like the first confirmation, the second, and now we're pushing higher, breaking it. So this is a lower high now, but also it's right into this support area, what you can see here, these stacked up bars. And I don't trust this when I'm going short into such a important level where buyers found their orders last time. So shorting this, I don't have a good feeling here. And yeah, prices go sideways. By the way, this is a potential failure here. Prices made a new high, first entry, second entry, long failure. But as I said, it's like very congestive here. There's some support below, and it's not too much space back to DMA. So I'm skipping this. Prices push lower strongly here. Can draw our channel. Now we're approaching the range low. You can see this very strong bearish momentum kicking in. But I think I cannot take a long here because this shorter term downtrend is in play. You can see here all the longs that went into the trade on this level here have their stops around this level. So once prices push lower here, there will be an explosion lower and prices will rocket lower. But yeah, we're finding some support here. So I'm not feeling confident in making a counter trade here to this strong shorter term downtrend. Would have worked, but we never know this, of course. Then we get a potential short here, but it's congestive. The signal bar is bad, so cannot take this. First break of this channel, so I would like to see a retest of the lows. Pushing strongly lower, drawing the channel, no setup. Okay, this is very strong bearish. I don't see a setup since now, because I would like to see prices pulling back to the EMA, pulling back to the key entry point, and right now the EMA and the key entry point are not aligning to each other, so I cannot take a trade here. Wow, this is strong bearish, and I think this is similar to this first leg what we had here. First leg up, second, maybe it's not even that accurate. So we have this here until here. This is the first leg, second leg here. So there is a potential target down here. I'm not sure if you reach this, but it's interesting to keep an eye on this. When you have a pre-market price action that's strong selling pressure, then most likely you will see a continuation during the trading day. But right now, yeah, this channel is working lower here. Can even draw it like this. Not sure if we can consider this as a break. For now, this shorter term uptrend is working higher here, and I must say, if you take this low here, first entry short, second entry short, this looks very tempting in shorting this, but not sure if you saw me doing this. I was drawing a shorter term trend here, and this trend was not broken and not retested. So right now, on a very micro perspective, you would counter trend if you went short here, because you go short against the working uptrend, even though it's like a very small uptrend, but you would make a counter trend here. And I would feel much better if we see a break here, a pullback, making a new high and then taking a short. So this would be very risky, taking a short here, and I cannot do it because it's against the shorter term trend here. Breaking the trend, making a new high here, and this is exactly what I was describing. Now this looks interesting, but it's not a second entry anymore because we have the new low here. First entry short, second entry short. That would be a third entry. Anyway, I take this anyways because it's a lower high, and we after this strong push lower here, many times we see a retest of the extremes. So the extremes are here, and there's so much strong bearish momentum that I like this lower high more for a retest for the extremes. Okay, that's very close. Now it's congestive. I'm not sure if I would now try to get out of this trade, because you can see prices not going lower here, finding some support and like really going sideways here, and we almost got stopped out. So maybe if you see something like this, then it's worth to consider leaving the trade, maybe on break even. Some say that they will not monkey with the trades. For me, I say if I see that momentum is changing after I have taken a trade, then I have no problem in taking out the trade if I see that something has changed. So right now I would try to, I would most probably try to leave the trade because yeah, now it's too sideways. Back then it was already sideways, but now it's even more. So okay, that would be the push lower that I was waiting for. And we have a retest of the lows here, finding some support here. And we're coming close to our measured move here. You can see this is the target from the overnight price action. And we're going higher here. Pushing lower one more time. And this is stalling right now. There's no clear direction. Maybe it's worth to draw this support. Going very sideways here, pushing lower, and I'm saying it again, we are very close before our measured move. You can even say that we hit the measured move because yeah, overnight price action is not that accurate. So yeah, we're very close in achieving our second measured move down here. Let me zoom in a bit. So removing this support line here for now, going higher. I'm always drawing the shorter term channels here. You can see that helps me a lot to recognize if a structure is broken or not. Now we have a potential failure here, but this looks congestive. Potential highs are here. Hard to say, because some of the short sellers, they have their stops right over here. So if prices are pushing above this level, then these short sellers that went into the market here getting stopped. But for now, I don't risk it. Going lower and finding some support at this level now. So maybe there's a range working. Can try it with this for now. Going higher, going above this area here, but we cannot manage to push strongly above. No setup so far here in this range. Going lower again. I would like to see consistent turns at the resistance and support level of the ranges. This level is not consistent because it's made for the first time. If we extend the range, maybe then it's like here. It's hard to say right now. So whenever we are not sure, we're skipping and going sideways here, breaking this shorter term channel for the first time, making new low and coming back inside the range. And this is a higher low, and I must say I really like this because from the context, sorry, I have to tell again, we are very close before reaching our measured move, and by now I think we reached it. So these moves are very, very accurate. You have to work with them because they can give you almost exact targets where prices are moving. From the context, we are in this downtrend, first break here, retest of the lows with a couple of legs. Maybe it's even 2 legs here. And we're in this range. We have this shorter term channel working lower with the first break. And now we have a higher low of this range support here. And taking the context that this here played out, that we reached our measured move here, and that we find some support of this range. I really like this setup. So I'm taking this as a higher low. Like this. And I think I forgot to give this here a name. That was a lower high. But yeah, I was unsure after this bar here. If you anyway take a trade one tick below the bar here, then it would have not triggered, and with this and this bar we would have not been entered at all. So that's only something if you consider it on some limit order. But yeah, back to the range here, making this higher low after this channel played out. I like this trade, and it's working higher here during the shorter term line here. We're in the middle of the range. I don't like to take trades in the middle of the range because it's not sure how prices react. Pushing higher here, leaving the range to the top side. Most breakouts fail, but yeah, this is, I would like to see like a real lower high, but this is not pushing high here, so cannot take it. Now we get the lower high, but it's congestive, too close to the EMA, cannot take it. And we're pushing lower again. Coming to the range support here. Breaking the channel for the first time. The shorter term channel, I mean. Breaking the range. Coming back in. No setup. If we extend this here, by the way, now we really reached the measured move. Pushing higher here, back inside the range. Congestion. Going higher here. Breaking new high. Nothing, we're going sideways. This is a lower high, but right into the support here. You can see many buyers that jumped in here, for example. I will mark this area. and buyers that jumped in here, they're putting their stops right below here, and they're putting their stops right below here. So when prices are pushing through the stops, that will accumulate. But yeah, you can see the strong moves lower here, taking out all these stops that I was speaking about, going much lower. So all the buyers are cleared of the chart right now, only the sellers left, and now it's fine to buy. Break of the shorter term channel, retest of the lows, and we're turning here, congestion, cannot take, and we're pushing higher. Can draw the shorter term channel. Finding some support here. Really no setup I can see, because this is like, it's going so sideways right now, and you can see the congestion here, you can see congestion here. Also, we're breaking this range here to the low side. Maybe we extend the range, but where would you extend it? So I would leave it like this, because I feel pretty fine with this range here. So we had like two legs lower here, first leg, second leg, didn't reach the second measured move, and we're turning here. And now we find the second entry long. It's above the EMA, but also it's in some congestion area. I'm drawing this in a different color, then you can see it better. This support has been proven. You can see like many touches here, and really sellers are not able to push lower. So there is some strong buying power here coming back in, but you can see there are so many things in between. There's this support of the range. There is this the EMA. It's not too much space here. So this second entry long looks way too risky, so I would skip. This higher low, on the other hand, looks very interesting now, because prices push all above these levels that I was speaking about. We're pushing higher, but also we made this shorter term channel here. We had a break and retest of the highs already, so I'm not feeling too confident in taking it. If this bar didn't finish so far above the EMA, so closer here, then I would maybe consider it as a failure here. But finishing that up high, I think I cannot take. Pushing higher here, going higher. Too big this bar. What's this? 19 ticks. Finding some potential uptrend working higher here. Not really. Maybe extending it a bit like this. That looks pretty nice. Finding some resistance at the range resistance here. Why we're finding resistance here? Because there are many short sellers that went in here, 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 and here, having all their stops here and having all the orders here going short again at the range high, and other traders seeing this, and they're seeing also that this is a range, and yeah, they're tempted to take blindly a short here, but we have to wait for a decent setup and consider also we had the break already of this range. So after the first break of the range, we cannot fade breakouts blindly. We have to wait for a very good setup. You can see sellers coming back in here, pushing prices lower, but are not able to push prices much lower because we have this uptrend working higher here. So all the bulls are supporting this move higher here, and we are stalling around the range resistance and finding now some way back to the key entry point. No setup so far, no signal bar. Breaking this for the first time. Cannot take a short here because this shorter term channel here potentially broke. Retest of the lows already. Breaking this uptrend for the first time and about to retest the highs. Sometimes you see it like this, that buyers need some momentum, so they are taking all the shorts inside the trade, pushing it lower just to reverse on them and taking them out, and just to get back to this level where bulls were not able to push through here. You can see how it was stalling here. So we were going lower here and pushing much higher here, and I think we were breaking this. All the stops here that were in this area here taken out. All the sellers that went back inside here are taken out. That's why it's so explosive. You can see this very strong push. It's not only one or two candles. You can see like it's like 4 candles pushing higher. Little rejection. That is the last try of the sellers to push it lower, but they see that it doesn't make sense. And with this final move here, all the shorts that went back here inside the range are being stopped or must cover. So prices push strongly lower, making a new high here. I usually don't draw this shorter term channels once a channel got broken, but it's anyway nice to see that we are going higher, break, retest of the highs. I can even extend it a bit like this. You can see how channels are progressing all the time, and it's working for the small channels and the big channels the same time. So we're pushing higher, break new high. We are overshooting this channel. We had a break before and now correcting. So yeah, cannot take a long here because this channel here played out by now. And prices are coming back inside the range, testing the breakout area. No setup so far. This could be interesting because it's first entry, second entry failure. But yeah, you can see prices are stalling here. It's sideways, and you go short into this old resistance that is now turning as support. So this is very risky, taking a short. And also notice, and we are finishing here because this is live price action. Notice we have the shorter term channel working lower, break new low. So there's already a new low in place, and we have below a lot of support from the range here that was pretty much marked in this area. So yeah, we'll mark this. We have to show it to you. We have the we have potential range resistance here. We have resistance here, and we have resistance here. You can see this. So if you go short right into this where prices were stalling so many times, really it can turn on you. And that's why we're going sideways here now, because really buyers and sellers are not sure. They're waiting for some more impulse here. And yeah, that was it for today's price action, bar by bar. Let me zoom out here a bit. Wow, what a day. Crazy. Okay, can zoom in a bit. Let me remove this on the right so we can see the chart a bit better. So yeah, that's the day. Had this strong push lower, some potential setup here, another setup here, going into this range, continuing this push lower from the overnight after a nice pullback of around like 50 or 60% of this down move down here, and then continuing lower. And you can see we're hitting this measured move on this way lower here. Unfortunately, no way to enter. There was a trade here, but I was not sure about this. You were hearing it, and yeah, we broke this channel, new low, and from there pretty much sideways here in this yellow range. We had these interesting areas here, and breaking the range to the low side, coming back in with an uptrend, breaking, overshooting. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you had a nice trading week. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. And I wish you a great weekend and speak to you next time, most probably tomorrow for the weekly chat. Otherwise, I have some nice live scalping session from I think yesterday. So maybe I will upload this as well. See you and speak to you next week.